Hi everybody, Lisa here with another Vera Bradley bag of the day. Um, Hot on the heels of my last video. So I have a couple more minutes, so I thought I would do another video because it'll probably be weeks again before I can upload another one. So I'd take advantage of um, the minute I have here. And I thought I wanted to follow up and address a question that a couple of viewers had about the throws. And then I thought I would just talk real quick, just show a couple of random um, items that I got recently very cheap because they were on sale. Most of them were. And also talk about how I'm using one of them. Not for what it's intended, because people always ask me, how do you use, especially the smaller pouches like the cosmetic trio, how do you use them, what do you use them for? Because I'm not always using them for cosmetics or their intended use, especially the toilet, anything in the toiletries bag uh, area. I'm not using them for toiletries, I'm using them for other things. So I just thought I would mention a couple of those things because people seem curious about that. So the first thing I wanted to mention was the throws. You okay, Peaches? As I did a little while back, not too far back, I did a quick video on this throw, which is Paisley Amethyst from the factory outlet. It's a factory outlet pattern. I think it's gorgeous. And please don't burrow in the carpet. And there she's doing it again. Peaches. It's not going to get you anywhere anyway. And people were asking about washing. And I had said that I have a signature line throw in Animal Kingdom, and I have washed that, and it went through the washer fine. Because people, it all seems very random. Some people with certain patterns, they've put them in the wash, whether it's the factory outlet line or the signature line, and uh, the throws have not handled it well. They've pilled, or they've started to sort of lose their fleece. Um, you know, I don't know exactly why some throws seem to be going through the wash fine and others didn't, but just for the record, in case people were wondering, I have washed this now, and it went through fine. And I have washed Animal Kingdom, which was a signature one, and this is a factory one, and I have washed it and it went through fine. So just in case people were wondering, and I washed it. I think I just followed what was on the tag. Let me see. I mean, I did do the gentle cycle, I'm pretty sure. Um, machine wash cold, separately, gentle cycle, non-chlorine bleach, Trumbull, dry low, blah, blah. Okay, so yeah, I only do them one at a time. I don't do them together. I only do one throw at a time with these throws. I don't know if that has something to do with it, because there's less friction of them rubbing against something else. I don't know. I mean, you would think it would be rubbing against itself. So what's the difference? But anyway, I did do it gentle cycle, cold, only this in the washer. And it was fine. Okay, so that's that. So then, uh, I when Beary Merry came out, I thought, oh, that's cute, and it's a novelty pattern, and I like it. It has kind of a vintage retro feel, but I'm not going to need a lot in it, and I guess I don't have a lot in it, but because it's a holiday pattern, it went on sale, and pretty deeply discounted. I mean, it was 75% off when I got most of this stuff, and so I was very pleased with that. And this, I can't find the I usually have some tags so I have the proper names. I'm sure you could find on the website what this officially is called, but I think it was a Travel Takes jewelry case or something. And people watch one of my older videos, I talk about this, in one of my packing videos, I think it was, I talk about this factory outlet style jewelry case that I really like. And this is in general what I have been using. This is stamped paisley. Yeah, and it's just called Jewelry Case. And so it ties, is a tie, and then it opens up, and you have this sort of, pouch, zipper pouch section, and then you have these plastic, oops, stay in the shot, window, sort of zipper pockets that sort of, with the clear plastic, one there, and one here that goes down behind the zipper section, goes down to the bottom here. There is some kind of stiffener in here. You can feel the edge of it. It doesn't come out. I don't know what it is, and I haven't washed this. So this was working really well for me. I could put what I tend to do is put a jewelry box in here. Usually I want to travel with jewelry boxes. I know that's odd. And I would fit a watch, my G-Shock, my baby G watch in there. And so that worked well for me. And then when I took my rings off wherever I was going, if I didn't have the box for them, I would slip them in the zipper pocket. And I felt like, that would sort of keep them contained, and I knew where they were. But I was always a little frustrated because I found that since I am someone who oddly likes to sometimes take the jewelry in its original little box, this wasn't working for me because I couldn't get too much in here. I don't tend to travel with a lot of jewelry, but sometimes, I just want one or two more pieces and they weren't fitting in here, and I didn't want them just sliding around loose in here in these zipper pockets. So I was starting to think about what else can I use. And so, this obviously doesn't accommodate boxes, but I thought, I could slip my rings on this thing here. It has this snap element. This is padded, and you could slip rings on there. Or you could slip, I guess, the chain of a pendant and stick the pendant part in here so it's not flopping around. This side has earring things. I'll never use this. I don't really like these strips with holes in them. For some reason, they bug me. I could see maybe slipping rings on here. And not crazy about the pleather, but what are you going to do? So I bought it more for this and just to have something small. But it was too small. Like, I would use it in conjunction maybe with something else, but I think it's not going to ever really be enough for me unless I'm forced to go super condensed, super streamlined. But I did think it was cute, get a little bit of the pattern. And I thought this was decent pattern placement because you get some of the bunnies. There, that's better. You get a little bit of the tree. And I've talked about how I really like the rendering on the tree in this pattern. It looks very hand done, very sketched in. I like that look. And you get two of the bunnies and a good grouping of the polar bears there, so I thought that was good. In the back, you get that polar bear with the bird on its head, and I thought that was cute, so I went with this one. It's hard with this pattern and smaller items. You get a lot of awkward cutting off of the figures, so. So that still didn't really solve my concern with this, and so that's when I started to really move away from what they're calling jewelry cases. I guess I could get that train case style jewelry case, but I don't like the pleather handle. It still has the pleather handle up top on the signature one, and I don't like that. I know there's a factory version, but for some reason it just seemed too big for what I'm doing here. I don't like the shape of it, the dimensions of it for what I want. I use that for toiletries, and I have that in a travel video. I show that. So I bought this not thinking really about how I was going to use it. I just saw the foxes. This is the medium cosmetic, and this is I guess the label's there. So they move where the label is. I guess the label used to be here on this zipper. There's an exterior zipper pocket on top, and then there's the main compartment zipper. And so I was thinking this is the front, and the label used to be there. but now the label is here. I think they probably do that so that you can have an option to monogram this, at least with the larger cosmetic. Anyway, but I saw the fox there and the fox there, and I was like, oh God, what are the odds? So I got that, and now I found that it works. I think it's the only critter on here. It's Foxwood. Everyone knows Foxwood. But it works perfectly for what I was wanting to do when I travel with my boxes, my jewelry boxes. So what I was finding is, here's my watch, my baby G. So that fits nicely on the top. And since Duke died, when I travel, sometimes I take his collar. Most of the time I take his collar with me. I'm still kind of in this sort of panic mode about him, and I need to have things from him around me. Anyway, so that fits nice on top in there. But then I can get jewelry boxes in there. So if I weren't stacking those, these things in there, I could even stack more jewelry boxes. But because this has a nice rectangular shape, it really accommodates jewelry boxes being stacked in there, and I have 2 in there. And so this is just working really well for me. And I traveled to my dad's like this recently. And just so people are aware, the inside is fabric covered in this plastic. So I'm not crazy about that usually, but it feels a little protective with the jewelry, so maybe it's not a bad thing to have that. If this were to get wet from the outside, maybe the things would be a little bit protected. So that's how I was using this. So then, related to that, on the Beary Merry, trouble saying that. Can't stand that pattern name because of that. This was something I never would have, I wasn't interested in getting, although I do tend to like the clamshell cosmetics and the velvet, anything velvet, feels like a treat. It was on sale, like 75% off or something, so I went for it. And it's interesting because compared to some of the other clamshell cosmetics, this has a wider base. So it definitely has a more triangular profile from the side. And anyway, that wider base accommodates jewelry box as well. It might not work so well with these because these have some height. So then it becomes, maybe they start hitting here. But I have some shallower, thinner jewelry boxes. They're sort of flat and wide, and they'll fit in here real well with smaller ones stacked on top. And again, plastic lining over the fabric interior. And so that's why I went for this and it was so discounted. And just try to show this is it's not embroidered. It's like an applique patch. Sort of has a velvety texture too. And sewn on, but the scarf looks more like it's sort of embroidered in there. The little details look embroidered in there, but the body of the polar bear is not embroidered thread. It's like a fuzzy patch, I feel like. Very cute. And metallic thread for the the blades on the sled. And for the wind lines. So that's cute. So that's all jewelry stuff. Then also, because things are on sale, and these 2 items I think are kind of interesting because this is a Carson cell phone crossbody, and I was in a signature store asking did they have any of these because I wanted to compare pattern placement, and they said to me they didn't make the Carson cell phone crossbody in Beary Merry, and I said yes they did. I have one because I was looking to compare to the one I have, which was this. I went in and I was wanted to see what the others look like and see if I could improve my pattern placement. This is a while back. And I didn't. I stuck with my original. But anyway, so when they did a little researching, they said, I think this might have just been something that was given to like Hallmark or other like vendors. It wasn't in the signature stores though. So I thought that was kind of interesting that they have, seems like maybe they have items that they just farm out to their partner vendors. So, and just wanted to get a little bit of the There we go. The pattern, very cute. A variety of the figures, different bear figures. And on the back of the fox, like that fox right there. And not too awkward, nothing too awkwardly cut off. There's a bunny rabbit there behind the wood. And this was another item found in Hallmark. I only have seen it in Hallmark. And I was like, oh, what is that? Because I like anything that looks like it could be a clutch and that has a flap with a covered magnetic closure, which this does. And this is called Iconic Brush and Cosmetic Case. I'm never going to use this probably for cosmetics. I use my travel case when I'm traveling for that, and I don't carry makeup with me when I'm just walking around. Maybe I'll have lip balm, but that's it. So I don't need something like this for makeup. But it was so cheap, and I thought, I know I can use this for something. So it has like a trifold construction, kind of, with this zipper pouch thing on the end, lined in the bunny rabbit fabric that feels like cotton. It's probably it's polyester still, I think, but feels more cotton-like. And it has this section in here for brushes with the flap that would protect the tops of the brushes. But these slots for your brushes, and then this mirror, of course, and the covered magnets are on either side. So this is one of those pieces that wraps a little bit, fabric wraps a little bit. So just to be aware, it's right side up this way, but it wraps around and is upside down on the back, which is a little frustrating when there's an obvious top and bottom kind of orientation. But what I found this worked really well for was traveling with my checkbook, which I had to do this weekend. I don't always do that, but I thought, ooh, if I want to carry my checkbook and I don't want it floating around in my bag because I have things stuffed in it that might fall out, like papers and things. So I could fit my pens in there. And my checkbook, this is the Cat's Meow checkbook cover, which I really like. I have one in Pink Elephant. I'm guessing probably from a re-release of Pink Elephant. And they're slightly different. That doesn't have as many pockets. This has a slip pocket on the back, which I like. Then inside, I'll take my checkbook out. But it has a slip pocket, on both sides. There's one here too. And a little elastic thing for your pen. So a little bit more features, I feel like, than the Pink Elephant one that I have. So, but I like elephants, so I got that one too. Anyway, this, and I did travel this weekend with this to my dad's. Just slips in there so nicely, and then I feel like nothing's going to slip out of it and get lost. And I have my pen there. I think I had 2 pens this weekend. And then so that's how I'm using this. Again, this is the Iconic Brush and Cosmetic Case, and I've only seen this at Hallmark. I don't know if it's anywhere else. I think that's it. Those are all my little random pieces that I thought I would share. But I just was very pleased that I come up with this new way to travel with some of my jewelry, because I was getting a little, as much as I like this, I was getting a little frustrated because I was feeling like some of my jewelry, it means a lot to me, and I want to travel with it in its original box for added protection. So this ended up working really well for that. So I hope people found that interesting or helpful, and hopefully we'll see you next time on Vera Bradley Bag of the Day.